Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Adrian and Julie. Woo, woo, woo. I thought we should bring up Chat GPT because it is everywhere.
It's everywhere. I mean, I haven't particularly played or tried it even.
Yeah.
But I've heard so much about it.
I've signed up and it gives me notifications every.
This is millions of signs up in
I think it just broke records, and now they're saying that it will be Microsoft versus Google because Google's come out with a new
Who owns
AI. Microsoft.
Okay.
And I think they paid $20 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of money.
What have you used it for?
So I've seen the application of how it's used, and basically you can say, so for instance, you can say, make me a script in Adrian's voice, TikTok under 1 minute talking about IKEA. And then in less than 30 seconds, it will do a script.
How does he know who Adrian is?
It will scrape all the information from the internet. So that's how they do it.
Oh, I should try that.
Yeah, you should try.
My job easier.
Yeah, so...
Because at the moment, the way it's been helpful for us is that Josh been making captions through it.
Ah.
So we don't know, because making captions takes forever.
Yes.
And grammar, it's perfect grammar.
Yeah.
Or you can just ask grammar. The easiest thing is just asking grammar fixes.
Yeah.
And then I heard you can even ask formulas for Excel and
yes, you can. You can build apps.
Yeah.
So it's if you know roughly the coding and how you want it to look, it'll provide all the coding for you.
Crazy.
Yeah. And we're kind of working out what does this mean for us journalists, reporters. Where is it? Where is a journalist's place now?
Yeah.
If you can't tell who's written the information, because potentially the AI bot is doing it for you. Yeah, so it's you can write scripts, even movie scripts, right? Anything it can scrape on the internet, it can just pull all the information together. Yeah. So even with your captioning, are you finding it 100%?
I didn't do it. I've just been told that it worked really well.
Yeah, right.
Maybe we can circle back.
Yeah.
I actually start using it. I've just been so busy that I don't even have time to try it.
The next episode will be replaced by AI bots. My friend actually gave me a drawing of a group of us but an AI did it.
Wow. Is it ChatGPT? No.
I don't know how she did it actually, because I was going to ask her
the
program.
a cartoon version.
Yes, it's a cartoon version.
It's gone viral.
Yes.
It's the thing that gone viral in the past 3 months.
Yes.
Everyone on TikTok's doing it.
Where it looks oh wow, that's really
It looks a cooler
pretty.
version of...
It looks so cool,
Yeah.
of just us on the beach, and then it does it looks like a watercolor painting. Yeah.
Because a lot of people, the reason why it went viral is a lot of people use a big white bowl, and then a girl with not much boob, and then put it on here, and then wait, and then the drawing will make it as if it's a big boob.
Make it look like it's enhanced her.
Yes. But a lot of them failed and then became a man or whatever or something else or whatever, and then they get really angry. Or sometimes it's maybe the girl will still be there, but then there's a man here in the bosom. It's
all
hilarious.
All these
so
weird designs. Because I think the one that broke the internet was the picture of the AI robot did what the future will look like, and kind of did an Armageddon type style.
Oh.
Yeah, and it looked quite,
grim.
Yeah. And
there's a lot of people also, the viral one, a lot of them do just take a picture of a hotel room that they were in.
Yeah.
Empty.
Yeah.
And then the AI capture something. A girl or a man or whatever.
Like a ghost.
Sitting on the bed, even though it's an empty room.
Well,
and then the content says, "Okay, I'm out. I'm checking out from this hotel."
No.
Yeah.
It picks it up.
Yeah, so many.
Oh my god, I gotta.
There's a particular sound they use for that trend, and it just went viral. It's just everywhere. Even she was eating at a kitchen, and then she did it, and then at the back, distant back, there's a girl looking from far away.
No.
And then she just okay, bye, and then run to the room.
Did I tell you the story of how we were in Vietnam for work, right?
Yeah.
And so my auntie was staying with us. She was like the translator.
Yeah.
And then the next day she goes to me, did you hear noises when you were sleeping last night? I go, no. She goes, I could not go to sleep. I said, what'd you hear? She goes, she heard someone like scraping the chair, like walking back and forth. Can you believe that? Like,
it's not. You're talking to an Indonesian, a very superstitious
yeah,
country.
that's right.
Like, I literally, like, my grandfather is a known, like, in that area is as like I don't know, they call it like a white magician or something. I think they call it like Indonesian Chinese, they call it Kwamya. So where people would line up outside of his house and like ask for the fortune or ask whatever problem to be fixed.
Yeah.
And then there's just so many tales and stories of like, because in Indonesia we've got like this little traditional swords called keris, and then which in Malaysia I think is also called keris. All of them is meant to have something in it, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then there's so many stories of that thing stopping robbery being happening.
It
turning
prevents
off fire.
Wow.
Like, it's just different.
To do it. I wonder, like, it'd be interesting and we'd love to hear, your comments underneath.
Yeah.
About, like, your favourite, do you believe in the, like, clairvoyance?
Yeah.
They can see the future.
Yeah.
Does it, because you know the information, does it stop you from then doing what you're meant to do?
Yeah, like, it's your fate. You're meant to. Like,
it's your fate. Like, I remember really wanting to move to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then the clairvoyant saw Melbourne.
Yeah.
But then I never went ahead with it. Like,
you never
it was
manifested it.
No, I didn't manifest. Like, I was close to, and then I remember sitting in the cab on the way to the airport.
My sister-in-law every day.
Yeah, well, exactly. No, this was before then. This is a while ago.
Oh,
but
so
we wouldn't have met her.
True.
You know what I mean? So you kind of think, and then I remember the cab driver saying, well, life is like a spider web, and like you've already built your life in Sydney.
Yeah.
Do you want to tear that web down and start again? And you've got to, start all over again. And then
were you already with Shane then?
No. Yeah, so this is before. This is a very long time ago. Yeah. So
you want to have 3 children?
No, it's like sliding doors, right? When you think, what if I made that decision? Would it look different?
Yeah.
Like, because I think around about 20, like early 20s, that's when a lot of things are yet to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
To you. It's, if you move now, then pretty much everything stays the same.
Yeah.
You already have so much baggage.
Yeah.
But then at that age, you make so many life decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will impact the rest of, like, what follows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, what I would do if I knew.
I would love that. I would love that technology if that came. Like, you could have...
let's ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. What would happen if Adrian didn't come to Sydney?
That's true. What would happen? Oh, gosh, my life would be so boring, I think, in Perth. In Perth.
Now, have you seen Pamela Anderson's new documentary on Netflix?
Not seen, but I heard about it.
Yeah, it's going, like, there's a bit of chatter.
Yes.
Bit of chatter.
About, like, the Tim Allen flashing her.
Yeah, just her experiences.
Jack Nicholson finishing the date by just looking at her.
Yes. She talks about that.
Yeah.
And it's more like on the premise of it's a love story and her quest to find love.
Yeah.
And in the end, she kind of reaches the conclusion of, I should love myself.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I should appreciate myself.
Yeah.
And then she has this, like, running theme throughout the documentary of her true love being Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
So he's the Motley Crue drummer. They have 2 children together, and they broke up. There was allegations of assault.
When you're doing it at home.
Yeah.
Here, let me stop him.
Okay.
Ali.
Is that like a healthy snack?
Oh, it's just chicken. Like chicken jerky.
So cute. Yeah. So Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
So she's come out to say her ex-husband, Tommy Lee, is like her true strong love, right? Because there's parallels of...
Is he married now?
He's married to a viner, like an influencer.
Yeah.
And so, it gets kind of convoluted because there are other parties involved.
Yeah.
But then, like, the documentary looks back on kind of her relationship with her mum and dad, and it's the same kind of pattern where it's a bit toxic, but it's true love, and they've stayed together. And she's kind of said the whole reason why she's never been able to move on, because subsequently she's had like 5 marriages since then, is because she never got over the true love that is Tommy Lee. Yeah. So it's kind of like the fallout of her memoir, the Netflix documentary, all in her own words, regaining that narrative.
Yeah.
And she's just such a charming person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you kind of fall in love with her, the essence of her, and she doesn't like to plan. And she says, like, she's notoriously, notoriously bad with finances as well. And every time she would use her credit card, she'd have to just go, oh, please, don't bounce, don't bounce, don't bounce. Can you believe that?
Even now?
I think even now, I think that's just how she lives her life. Yeah, everything's on a whim. Everything's just about chasing the adventure and kind of following.
She doesn't check her bank. I log into my bank every hour just to look at my money.
I know. Imagine not doing that. Like,
how often do you check your bank?
Me, I'm very similar as well. Yeah, I like to check it, especially like on a payday. Yes, please. Like, love to check it. And then you just go. Although the other day it was running like seriously low, and then you're just like, oh God, this can't be good. And then you have to, you know, I was like pulling out trying to eat like Red Pockets to just like get, no, you should just get cash. You know that feeling of like, so with me, if I know that there's
children's Red Pocket.
Yeah.
I think you were meant to save them for them.
Well, she's there. She's looking at me. Yeah, with that pot of money, right? So if there's if there's money there, I'm the type of person to like either all or nothing. Yeah. So save it all or just like slowly go to the shops. And then it's like you walk past like Lululemon or you walk past like Chic and then shoe stores and Mecca and Sephora.
You should go to Mecca and do the face gym.
What's a face gym?
I don't know. Mecca's now huge in the city. They're doing a face gym at $680 or $650.
What is it? What is that?
I don't, honestly, it's a facial, I think. Oh. But they call it facial gym or a facial gym or something.
Oh.
I think $600 something. Ludicrous.
For like facial.
Yes. Oh. Well, the comments are all like, so this is basically just a facial.
Yeah. Of like, that's what they do. But it's, it gets when you're just like, you're like $200. I've got $200. And then you go to the shops and then if you like buy a few things, you're like, whoa.
So are you, the thing is, see the bit that I'm always curious, right? When you say $200, right? You still have the money in your offset account.
Oh, yeah. It's just so where it's
so you're that strict. Because for me, I'm whatever. If I need the money from the offset account, I'll take it from the offset account.
I used to be like that, where it was just almost like, if there's money there, it's too easy, right? But I think this works for me. Okay. This works for someone like me where, like, whatever's in there.
An amount in your day-to-day.
And then all I see is the day-to-day. All I see is, like...
Because if it's in a deposit, I get it. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
But most Australians who own a property would have money in the offset account, which means you can touch it. And it's the money for if you're not Australian. It's money... It's the money whereby it offsets the interest rate.
Yes, that's right, yes.
And you can take it and access it anytime.
Yes, but that's basically the thing, you can access it anytime.
Yeah, it's like a savings account.
It is, but then you've got to have like really good discipline to just not
I guess touch. Maybe I don't have as much.
Yeah.
Because I don't have... I used to have an account where it's just for day-to-day spend.
Yeah.
But now it's just the offset account.
It's so much better having the day-to-day spend because you just ignore the rest. Right? So you just kind of ignore whatever's happening is happening.
Maybe because I'm not a spender. Like, I only spend when I have to in terms of, when I have to buy gifts, pretty much.
Really?
But in terms of...
So a week, right? Yeah. How often would you tap? How often would you do it?
Just to pay for food.
Yeah, like
That's
coffee.
Oh, no, I don't drink coffee.
Okay, so what?
Just for lunch in the office, which is twice a week.
Yeah.
And then dinners. Mm-hmm. But then because I'm a food content creator, so a lot of dinners are covered. So maybe
Uber,
twice.
Or...
I don't Uber, I drive. So
you drive,
petrol, maybe every once or week. Yeah, maybe because I don't spend that much. The only spending I have...
But what do you go to like shopping?
Gifts.
Do you go to like Westfields just to cruise
Never,
around?
I don't buy.
See, I think that's a male thing. I don't know whether it's a male thing or whether
Josh
it's
would
just...
have different stories.
Okay, right. So it's just a personality thing. Yeah.
No, I just can't be bothered. I have to like actually purposely. Okay, today I'm gonna buy shoes. Today I'm gonna buy shirts or whatever.
There's nothing better than cruising through shopping malls.
Even in Japan, when the two of us are walking to shop purposely. Today we're shopping. He'd be looking for like, and I'd just be editing, standing editing until he said, "Does this look good?" And I'm like, "Yes, get it."
Yeah.
And then I'll just be still on my phone.
Really...
I'll just be looking at interesting things.
Yes.
Filming and storying and then and then sometimes I look at it, I'm like, and then not clothes, like, I'd be looking, this BTS thing is cute. Do I want it? Will it just become like my house is already cluttered? And then I just decided, you know what, not don't worry. The only two that we couldn't escape was the two popcorn thingies.
Yes, I remember you saying the two popcorn. It's right, so you don't have that impulsion where...
No, think about it. I guess I'm lucky that way.
Yeah.
Maybe I used to. I don't know. It's just, I find it interesting hearing stories like my boss would say, like, like we barely have cash today. In my head, like, I'm sure you have an offset account that you could. But I guess people then.
No, because once you start, you can't stop. Yeah, you have to, just for that, like, acknowledgement of, like, okay, next cycle of pay. And then, like, it goes to where it needs to go.
It's interesting. I wonder how you all.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how people.
Just have a day-to-day account that you limit yourself, or even like, okay, this month I'm like every month $500 in this, I will not go above that.
Yeah.
Or do you go just the one account? They're all your money on there.
That is just like so much discipline though.
Which is what I am now, right now. We are like that now.
Yeah.
Basically, just put everything on the credit card, right?
Yeah.
Put everything on the credit, and then just every month I just pay the credit card off, like just for the point.
Just for the rewards.
Just for the points.
Yeah. What reward stuff do you get from your credit card?
Oh, pretty much we just use it all for whenever we go on holiday, all the hotels we paid using the points.
Oh, okay, right. So it goes towards the hotels.
We tend to never pay for hotels when we go overseas.
Yeah, okay, that's good because there's a purpose. Mine is Christmas presents. It's always Christmas presents. David Jones or like, any department stores, then you just load up. Yeah. It goes to Christmas.
I guess because your family's big. Like,
yeah, I know. And there's it was funny because this year...
Josh is Chinese. I don't believe in money. Christmas what?
Well, even like this year, last year, it was so funny because everyone's like, Secret Santa.
How much did you spend?
I reckon...
On a Christmas present budget?
Oh, our budget is like...
Like more than 2,000?
I reckon more than 2,000 for sure.
Oh, but this is including your aunt.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then if you include those, for sure.
And what do you buy to your rich auntie?
Huh?
What do you buy to your rich auntie?
Well, I actually just do like default Chanel makeup. That's like my default.
Yeah. Perfumes or things like skincare. So
yeah, that's right. It's very Switzerland. It's very like,
True.
It's
so hard by rich people.
Yeah, but then picky people as well, I find really hard.
Asians, oh god.
Yeah, Asian
aunties.
Asian aunties are...
But then they would never say, like, I'd never use this, don't buy this, don't...
No, they'll never say it. So they'll...
Because there are those people.
Yeah,
but yours auntie are courteous enough.
Yeah, courteous. They're very courteous. Yes. My mum is very much like... She's a hoarder, so she loves hoarding presents. And then you look in the cupboard and you'll be like, why haven't you used this perfume? Why haven't you
she doesn't re-gift them.
She doesn't re-gift it. She just, like, keeps it all together, like, for, I don't know for what. So that's interesting. Like, she just loves collecting.
I think because she doesn't like to change. She likes to just use whatever she already used to.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm feeling adventurous today.
And then whereas I'm the opposite. I kind of like culling things very much. Everything in the house, whatever you don't want, you can just cull it.
So that means you will try it, whatever you've been given.
Yeah.
And then if you don't like it, then you'll cull it one day.
Well, you know what? I've actually started watching a really awesome YouTuber. And she's a teenager, American Filipino teenager. And
Brevin Rock.
Nicole Liano. And she does these amazing, like, day in the life.
Yeah.
And she's, high schooler in junior year. And
you're watching a high school.
I know, don't ask me how I got into it. Which is kind of like, how did I think maybe because she's so
And then
positive.
what does she do?
She does like vlogs of her sitting exams,
Yeah.
and then she does her maths, her history, ceramics class,
Where's
and
the
then
culling?
the colour, no,
Okay.
the makeup. So
Okay.
because her makeup recommendations are so good, they're spot on.
Yeah.
I've been using the same products.
Whatever she's buying.
Whatever she says.
What brand is her
So
gravitating to?
Kiehl's for the face cream.
Yeah.
Then she recommended like a Korean lip gloss,
Yeah.
which was a Laneige.
Yes.
And then she recommended how to curl your lashes, right? Because I was wearing fake lashes for so long, and then it's like, oh, I can't do the upkeep.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, you get a Shiseido like eye curler.
Yeah.
And then you get like the Dior white, you push it on, and then you get the mascara. She recommended 2 brands that I didn't like, so I got like another one, and it works. Like
it looks longer.
Well, someone commented when I was getting my hair done. She's like, "Oh, you're natural lashes," and then I started talking about this YouTuber, and she's like, "I've got to go downstairs after work to get it." So
influencer.
It works though. Like I think that's the thing. It's like, oh wow, every single thing that she said works.
Yeah.
Like it was quite so because you get overwhelmed at like
content.
Yeah, and you get overwhelmed at Mecca and these stores. There's so many different products. You don't know what to use.
Yeah.
But then she was just so spot on with all her
You only
recommendations.
have 2 eyes to try it on, or
You do,
you don't really.
but there's so much.
Do you try mascara?
That bacteria.
Oh my god!
Have you
Gonna give
seen-
you pink eyes.
Oh my god, the bacteria in all of them, right?
Yeah.
And then like you can't clean it enough. You can't clean the testers enough because it's still sitting there. They've done like research on it. We'll flash up the articles, but you can see like it's everywhere. No,
Look, even skincare that's like
everything that.
like
Oh no, the pump ones, yeah.
Okay, the pump ones.
Yeah, the pump
thank
ones.
God.
But then anything that like you use your
touches,
fingers, the surfaces. Yeah. Yeah. Don't go about it. Don't do it. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
sometimes Josh tries it, and I'm like, no, don't.
Yeah, don't go near it.
No,
Don't go
don't.
near it. So they've released that there's going to be sequels. Wait for it. So Toy Story 5.
Okay. I stopped watching at 3, I think. And
Really?
people are like, what?
Well, think about Toy Story 5, right, for a minute. That boy, Andy, the owner, would have to be so old now.
But
He would have
still-
to have kids, right?
But,
Seriously,
you
that would
know,
be Toy Story 5.
I watch Doraemon, and he remains the same. Like Nobita.
Yeah,
like,
no. But
like-
Toy Story, he actually grows up. He
Yeah.
goes to college.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, Toy Story... So I think he's still at college. So I reckon Toy Story 5, he would have kids. For sure. But the...
Well, that's good. The story then can be about giving his toys to his kid. And then
Yeah, I think
the
that's
next-
what the story would be. Like, that would be...
passing on the baton
Yeah.
to the Andy 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. It would have to be. And then, so Frozen 3...
Yes.
So that's coming out. I think it's all slated for like in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And Zootopia, the second.
Oh, Zootopia is so fun.
I love Zootopia.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking. That's probably the one that I'm looking forward
Sing
to
and
the most.
Zootopia is too fun.
Zootopia. It's,
I love Sing too.
See, I've got to watch Sing too. Actually,
It's really fun.
yeah. It's I like
watch
the
it
characters.
in the plane, I think.
Is it like the pig, the mum, the Reese Witherspoon
Yes,
character?
yes.
She probably like is the epitome
Of all
like,
mums.
of all
busy mums. Oh, but she's like really good though, because she's very like do this, do that, you know.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
very
yeah.
like disciplined and like the boss.
Yeah, the boss in the
yeah.
house. Her husband's funny. The husband, I think, just
That
goes
was
along
kind
with
of
the ride.
chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they make her like this 50s housewives kind of vibe.
Of her?
Yeah, like
Yeah, because
like,
she's always at home looking after the kids.
yeah, and the husband's just chill, just like don't know what happened in the household kind of vibe.
Zooms in and zooms out.
And just always reading the newspaper while eating breakfast, while the mom just running around managing the kids. I think more these days are more both of them running around if they have like that many kids.
Yes and no.
Yes.
I reckon it depends on. Maybe I don't know. It's interesting. Like it depends on like what you see, and then also like what you're exposed to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think like you would want to work, but some people don't. Some people have cherished their children and like are very fortunate to stay at home, you know, as well.
No, what I meant is during breakfast, with that many children.
Oh,
This day and
right.
age,
That's what he's...
both parents would run around and manage the children.
Well, you'd have to, unless, you know, you would want some, like, conflict.
Thing where it's just like one is reading, like enjoying breakfast, while the other one is like running around, washing the dishes, like, you know, at the same time. Like, you know, I feel like they're painting her to be like this, like, you know, American wives in the 50s, and then want to break out. And then
and her breaking out.
The good thing, I guess, is the husband is allowing her. The husband's doing everything now and allowing her to do this.
Oh, right, that's where the character changes.
Yeah.
Because
he's allowing her to break out of her shell and do this.
Supporting. He's supporting, being a supporting husband. And does he look after most of the...
Well, we don't see that. But obviously she's participating on everything.
Someone has to look after
that means
the
I'm assuming or his mum. I don't know. I'm just thinking
mother-in-law?
Realistically what will happen, like, you know. And then throughout the time, the mother-in-law is like, your wife.
Yeah,
is like judging the wife, like,
exactly right. It's so true.
Typical.
That's such like a typical thing. It's so true.
How dare her neglect her children.
Herself ahead of the kids. How dare she?
Oh my God, I feel for women sometimes. Like, you have to have period pain, you have to give birth, you have to like just endure so much.
It's a lot of things to kind of like clock up, right?
Yeah.
And when you're young, you actually don't think of all these things until you go through it, right? But I think we're getting better.
I can't imagine having my first period in school. Like, gosh, that would be a nightmare.
So I didn't have it at school.
Thank God. So you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah. I was actually the timing
not in a public swim.
No. Although, not lucky, you know what's so funny? It's very Asian, but like my parents didn't say anything.
Oh, so you just discovered it, but you knew from your friends.
Yeah. That's where you find out.
Imagine if you're the first one amongst your friends. Gosh.
Oh, yeah, but there's usually like an early bloomer. There's usually in a group of friends, there's usually one that's like...
No, imagine you are the early bloomer.
I know. Can you imagine? Oh, my goodness, yeah. Like, you'd be like, what is happening to me?
So you already knew about it. Did you prepare?
Oh, because I was always the youngest in the year, so...
Did you already have it prepared? Like...
No, well, apparently schools give you, pads or tampons and stuff to prepare you. Yeah. No, this was very old school Chinese. It's like, what's this? It's like, oh, okay. And then my mum's like, oh, you'll just need pads. And then that was the end of the conversation.
She doesn't just say anything. Describe it like, how this egg come off. This is why you get pregnant.
No. And it's so funny because, like, with the therapy, like, when you go to therapy and they kind of, how were your parents towards you? And I was like, what was the circle of security like? And like being so Asian, you're like, what is she talking? Circle
feeding
of what?
Me.
Yeah, no.
Feeding me food.
Is feeding you enough? Is just keeping you alive enough? And then so they make you do like a survey of like ticking things, like, are you close to your dad? What's your relationship like? Did you feel secure? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's so like, a different way of thinking, right? Because even when you talk about like, getting your period, it's like, isn't that normal? Like no one talks to you and you just find out that that's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, it's typical. I'm glad, because a lot of, especially if you're a Chinese background, like, they love to gamble, right?
Yes.
So I bond with my dad through
so
gambling,
you had that,
because he loved gambling, and I like money, and so I always I'm always his bodyguard.
Oh, you're his accountant.
Within 24 hours, between 10 to 13 hours, it'll be in the casino.
Yeah.
And then I'd just be next to him. He sometimes give me money, and then I'll just play. And then literally, that's how we pretty much
bonded. That's your bonding.
That's
experience.
How I bought our first house, pretty much, through casino money that I got from my dad and my mom. But that allowed me to do like for years and years. I don't know, 15 years. That's how I bond with my dad. Like through gambling with him, pretty much.
Actually, can I tell you a funny story? That's how like my mum and I recently got to like.
Does she like the?
Yes, the slaps. Yeah. But I think it's just they do it because it's. It's a nice club, and then they get free drinks, and it's like, free shit. And then, it's like an hour away of, and it's,
How long could your mum be in that for?
Oh no. She it would be like, oh, let's get like the fish special or whatever.
Okay.
Eat dinner and then like, have, an hour or two. But no, that's like 10 hours is pretty. That's a
10 hour
marathon,
minimum.
man.
And then I'd go back and then sleep, and then he'd go back. Maybe he'd sleep for 2 hours and then go back again.
Really?
He'd go back to garden. They call it gardening. He's gardening.
Oh,
and then when it comes to, because they both always fly here during Christmas period. And then the minute Boxing Day came, me and my mom wants to shop, right? So we went to a shop. There was like maybe 5 occasions where my dad was like, let me come with you. He went to the city, see the queue, and I'm going back to the garden. I'm going back to gardening. I'm like, okay.
He goes, and
and then me and my mom just like bond over like shopping for Boxing Day.
Yeah.
But then, we just always bonded. Like, my dad loves me in terms of always accompanying him.
Oh, yes.
But then towards the last 5 years, then my brother and sister-in-law start coming as well.
Yeah.
So we all just bonded through that. Because my dad would, like,
okay, right. So he comes, Oh, really?
It's like, I feel like it's because now he's post-stroke.
Yes.
So obviously he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So he's not as
mobile.
Doesn't do often anymore.
Yeah.
But even until now, we still gush over or laugh over stories.
Yeah, the stories, right?
All the big wins, all the like when my mum got like the biggest jackpot. I think one time my mum, like, she didn't even understood what happened, and then I'm like, oh mom, I think you just got $26,000 like at the start.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, and my dad was playing luckily in the table nearby.
Yeah.
And then
you need like an expert to almost like come with you, right? To know what to do.
Luckily, I'm young enough to understand everything.
Yeah.
Like, because when you're older, sometimes it might not be quick. Like, it's like you need to understand everything. Anyway, then my dad left all of his money in chips and just ran to my mom.
Oh,
and just like, my wife.
I know.
My wife. And then literally a crowd built because the money just kept coming.
I love how they're not like subtle winners, because you know how sometimes if you win big, you're just
my dad is not. Like, I used to play Dance Revolution, you know that?
The dance,
And whenever I play, because I used to be quite good at it, and even though I'm quite weighty, but I'm still very good at it. And then my dad used to be like, my son! In time zone, he'd be like screaming on top of her lung until like there's a crowd watching me.
God.
And then he's so cute.
That's so cute. That's like the ultimate dad.
With whatever the children do.
Dance Revolution.
Dance Revolution was the thing. Because I used to be like joined to clubs and stuff like that. It was like I was playing competitively in Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my only form of sport.
That's like a real party trick.
And then afterwards.
To reward yourself.
Cancel it out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So do you reckon you could do it now? You should totally do like videos of you like a dad. You could be like the revolution.
I don't want to embarrass myself. But the thing is, it's different now. Like, it's so complicated now.
It is complicated now, yeah. It's like too many things going on.
If there was the old school machine, probably. But yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, so that was the biggest jackpot win was...
Oh, there are more. My mum won bigger ones in Singapore.
So do you think
they used to go to Singapore every 2 weeks to gamble?
So do you think they actually break even, or they have more wins than losses?
I think they have more wins. Well, my dad specifically.
Yeah, because of his character.
He's a good controller.
Yes, I think yes.
He would stop and start again the next day.
Yeah. So my auntie, different auntie, she is very good with her finances, and she has like a little black book that she kind of writes her wins. And she's very disciplined.
He just did it all in his head.
But it's good because
she's that disciplined.
Yeah, but it's like if you enjoy.
I used to be the black book.
Yeah, you used to.
I used to be like that. Were balance, current balance,
$2 left. Time to walk away. So do they have like? Okay, so everywhere you go with them, right? Are they like, okay, let's work out where the casino is?
We won't go to a country unless there's a casino.
Oh, okay.
Like, literally, it's not a holiday unless we're staying at a casino hotel. Like, it's just like, I used to have a conversation with them like, oh, let's go to blah, blah, blah. And my dad first comment would always be like, is there a casino hotel? I'm like, no, then let's not go there. Like,
let's not do it. Forget about it.
But it's funny, I have an uncle. My dad is one of 10, I think. Yeah. And then, but his dad and his mom were widows, and then they got married, so they all have 5 kids. One have 5 kids, one have 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they had my dad, number 9, and then number 10, my uncle.
Oh, wow.
And then my uncle is like really rich, right? And then, but I used to have an okay relationship, but then again, I bond over casino. His daughter used to live here, so he used to fly even more often.
Yeah, to come and visit her
than my parents.
Right.
And then then I always spend like the casino time with him. And then the difference is they look so sick. They look like a twin, my dad and my uncle.
Yeah.
And then my dad would, let's say a table of roulette, like the maximum he would put, unless you're on a winning streak, so the maximum at a standard. Like in the standard, right?
Yeah.
He would put like, I don't know, $300 or $200 or $300 in one roulette round, which is one spin.
One spin, yeah.
But in the winning streak, that could go upwards to, I don't know, thousands, you know. But my uncle's minimum is always like $2,000 in one spin.
Right, his minimum. My God.
And then
that's like too much pressure. Like, that's the thing about casinos. I don't have I just think, oh my God.
It's good to watch it.
You know, you equate
I wouldn't want that pressure.
that's right. When you watch it, it's fun when you're a bystander, but then when it's that much money. So do they hit like roulette and the machines, like pokies, or?
Pokies just when they're smoking.
Oh, okay.
But usually it's roulette and then 3-card poker or 4-card poker.
Oh, poker, right.
So but it's the 3-card poker, and then that was just, my dad could just sit there for 10 hours.
Do you think your dad has like a way with numbers, like he's gifted as in he's memorized, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he's
you
really
must
good with numbers.
I think if you're really good with numbers, then you enjoy that. Like I can see certain
usually
people
even just like, I don't know what blah 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 percentage of this blah blah blah, and he just like shout it up.
He knows. So he's good with numbers, and it's just a way to well, isn't last thing Picard, so
the TV series,
season
Star
3
Trek,
it's coming out in a few weeks.
I actually never watch Picard. I never watched Star Trek. And then I discovered Discovery.
And
I love Discovery.
So can you?
And then I watched one episode of Picard, and it was a lot of talking.
No, because with Picard, it's like the more into it you get, the better it is. Because the next generation with Picard, that's his crew, and so like his season of Picard, they don't have any of his old crew members.
Yeah.
It's just him, and he kind of has different new people, right?
Yeah.
And then season 3 is when they all come together. So like for any mega fans, this is like the season of where they all come together.
The old crew?
So this is like 20 plus years of like, you see how they age.
Like George Takei is there?
No. He was the next generation. But his crew, Picard's...
so you've always watched Star Trek?
Yes.
Yes.
So I started with Voyager, and then I remember like hearing, Voyager's good, but you should try the next generation.
Discovery's not cancelled, is it? We just don't know yet what happened.
I'm not sure, I
haven't finished the last season, in fact.
My friend was like, you should watch... I started watching Lower Decks, which is just hilarious.
The TV series. Cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon, because it's about the underlings of the underlings.
Discovery?
No. Just of like Star Trek. Because with Star Trek, they focus on pretty much
the
like
high up.
That's right.
And
exactly, the C-suite, the who's who, the most important people.
But nobody sees the...
But no one's... And it's so funny because it's like, it's so true, right? There would be like an underclass of like cadets and like people who just can't get promoted there. So that's what...
They should make a sitcom. Of that. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think that's what like Lower Decks is about. It's quite funny because it's like they never
like make a The Office version.
Yeah, The Office. Yeah. Instead of a cartoon, they're doing that. And then so this is what Picard is. So like, oh my God, it's really exciting because it's bringing back the old crew. So they ran like a series of movies in the early 90s, like 2000s. And then they had a big gap, and then I think J.J. Abrams took over.
Yeah.
And because he took over, he decided to branch out of the existing characters to kind of revisit new things, but not touch the next
canon.
Generation. Yeah, touch that.
I think the language is the canon or something.
The canon?
Yeah, the canon is like the original story.
Yeah. So exactly. So he didn't. And then now everyone's just so excited because it's all tying together.
I heard that Michelle Yeoh is getting a spin-off, but now that she's so big, I don't know.
She's so big, right? She's in Wicked.
I heard she's getting a spin-off of Discovery.
Oh, is she? Yeah.
To have that there was a ship that is special and it's black.
Yeah.
And they're like spies or something like that. So
oh my god, a must watch. Yeah. That's on the list. So look, I think if you made it to the end of this episode, do you think what emoji should we put up? Money emoji? Or
Money. Or like, is there a relationship? Like, I feel like we talk a lot about like
handshakes.
Yes, handshakes.
Yeah. We every episode we can think of an emoji that they can. Yeah, if you made it all the way to the end.
Money is good actually. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
the like $sign eyes.
Maybe put the $sign eyes first. Yeah.
$sign eyes. But yes, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share.
And we'll read it and we'll get back.
Oh, but please comment comment.
Oh well, we want to hear. Yeah, that's right.
We want to read. We want to tell us what to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And then also we'll read your comments as well because it will be really interesting to see what you guys think.
Yes.
All right. See you next time for another episode.